Unfortunately, it turns out I lied. But for my own personal enjoyment, I probably won't be buying books. So if you see any reviews, they're probably books that I've already owned. I have not done a book haul in quite some time. So you won't be seeing book hauls on this channel that often. If not, I failed. Hi everyone and welcome back to Literary Reality. My name's Sata and I'm here with my final book haul of the year. Unfortunately, it turns out I lied. I lied. I said I wasn't gonna buy any more books and I did. So here's my last ever book haul. This year, I want to say for next year as well, but I don't want to lie again, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to hold my lips and not say Pim. But in my vlog, if you watched it, me and a friend, we went to 66 Books, which is this massive warehouse, and they have like 70% off sales, 2 weekends a month, and you literally just turn up, buy your books. You do have to join, you do have to pay like a membership fee, but it's like £2 for a whole year, so it's literally like worth it, and it gives you access to all of their sales. So they kind of email you every month just to let you know like any sales that's going on. So today I wanted to show you guys what I actually bought from that sale that's in that vlog. If you haven't watched that vlog, go and check it out. I've linked it somewhere on the screen or in my bio. I don't know which one yet, but it's there for you to go and watch. So that was fun. But yeah, let's get into it. Period. Alright, so like it's a massive bag. It's flipping heavy. Like it was mad heavy when I was carrying it. Thank God I drove. I don't know how you would get to that place with public transport, because there was like, it's in like an industrial area and there's like no public transport from what I saw. You're gonna have to hop on a train and a bus and then probably walk for a bit, but I was like, hell no, I'm driving. So I put all of this in my boots, but it's massive, like it's heavy as heck. So they're just random books that I just picked up on the shelves that I thought were interesting. Some of these I already own, but I love them so much I picked them back up again. So let's get into it. This is in random order, by the way. Like this is in a random order, so it's literally just how it's packed in the bag, and then I'm gonna put them onto my shelves if I can find space somewhere. But yeah, so the first book, I wouldn't say the first book that I picked up, but again it's in random order, just how I packed it in the bag. One of the books that I got was Why Solange Matters by Stephanie Phillips, and it's actually signed. It's actually signed. So what, come on, like this is awesome. Why Solange Matters, I picked this up because I love Solange. Like I love the Knoll sisters, I love Beyonce, I love Solange, as I keep saying. So this book focuses on obviously Solange's art. So if you've listened to like A Seat at the Table, which is like an amazing album, and it talks about obviously how important she is as an artist and her work and its contribution to like the discussion on class and gender issues, especially of the record industry, because obviously Beyonce is talented, but Solange is as equally talented, but she does get overshadowed by her sister a bit. So it's kind of reflective of some of the issues that goes on in the music industry as well. So I picked this up because I was like, I love Solange, but I also want to know more about the music industry, and especially when it comes to this conversations about race and class and gender. It's something that you don't really think about too much, so I was just like, that'll be a good read. Another book that I picked up is Sophie's World by Jostein Gaarder. This is, I remember reading about this book years ago, and I was just like, I'm gonna pick it up. And it's just literally about a 14-year-old girl called Sophie. She meets this mentor who kind of talks her through all of these different philosophies and philosophical ideas and stuff like that. So she kind of learns about philosophy through her mentor. So I was just like, when I read about this book a few years ago, I was just like, I kind of want to get into like the basics of philosophy. I want to be a deep thinker, and I thought this will be a nice introduction into it. So I don't know if anyone's read this, but yeah, I was like, I have to pick this up. So it's a fiction book, obviously fiction's my priority, but I just thought this would be a good read, and I saw it and I just like, oh shit, I need to pick it up. Next we've got The Greek Myths by Stephen P. Kershaw. I basically just want to get into like my Greek mythology bag in it. So I always thought Greek mythology is quite interesting. Me and my book club, we read Circe like a few years ago. No, was it a few years? It was a few years ago. I think it was like last year. Or the year, it was last year. This time last year I was reading Circe, and I was saying a few years ago. I'm making stuff up. But since that kind of introduction, and obviously we hear about little ones like, not little ones, you've seen like the Disney classics, Hercules and all that stuff. I just wanted to read more and get into it a bit more, so I just saw this randomly on the shelf and I was just like, I'm gonna pick it up because Greek myths are quite interesting and I just wanted to read more about it. So yeah, this book kind of just walks through it. I think it's definitely a non-fiction book, so I just thought it would be nice to explore different stuff. Next, I picked up Cherry by Nico Walker. Now, I can't lie, I judged this book by its cover and oh my god, I never saw this before. I've seen it in the camera, that's crazy. There's a skull on the, the front cover and I did not see that until just now. That's crazy. What the heck? That's crazy. Guys, this is a real life reaction because when you look at the book, it's just stars. How comes I can see a skull? That's crazy. Scary. Okay, when you look at the book, not on camera, but it's literally just full of stars. So when I picked it up, I did not see the skull, but in the camera, I can see it. Hey, yo, that's mad. The heck? Anyways. Oh, it's a good thing I'm wearing my glasses today, boy. Alright, so I literally judged this book by its cover. I did not see the skull, but now I'm seeing it. So now I'm thinking, why did I pick it up? If I saw the skull, I wouldn't have picked it up. No, but I picked it up and I was like, oh, Cherry, like that sounds kind of cool. I don't know what it's about. So it's about college freshman, he falls in love, but he ends up being a soldier involved in the Iraqi war. So we kind of see the fallout from that, and then the impacts of the war on him when he comes back to his one true love, Emily. And then he starts robbing banks. So why not? Oh my god. And do you know, the skull actually adds another level to it. Actually kind of makes it scary. Now I'm ready to get into this book. Do you know what I mean? Like I've never heard of it before the day that I saw it in the warehouse. I picked it up, I read the back, and I was just like, that sounds interesting. I don't think I've ever read any books on the perspective of someone going to war. So that will be an interesting perspective to check out, and seeing the impacts of war on an individual. Woo, child. Now the next two I'm gonna show you, I love. I absolutely love, like, my favorite books. So Take a Hint, Dani Brown, and Get a Life, Chloe Brown, both by Talia Hibbert. There wasn't, Eve's book wasn't there, otherwise I would have bought it. These two I've already read and I've got on Kindle, so I literally love them so much that I literally bought them again in paperback. So especially Dani Brown, I said, oh my god, like this is one of my favorites. Like, I read this last year, one of my favorites. It still is one of my favorites to this day. So I'm waiting for a time where I kind of forget what it's about, so I can reread it again, so I can relive the emotions I felt. And I read this quite recently. I think I read this at some point this year. I think it was a couple of months ago. I loved this one as well. So I'm gonna see if I can get Eve's one in paperback sometime soon. But these ones I just picked up simply because I've already read them and I really love them. I love the Brown sisters, and like this series, if you haven't read it, go and read it. I beg of you, please. I'm on my knees, go and read it. Next book, I absolutely love this one as well. I love this one as well. So 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. Boy, I read this with my book club. I think I chose this book. I can't remember who chose it. Let me not take the credit, but I love this book. So I've already got it on Kindle, but I decided to pick up the paperback because I love it. Like, you know, I'm a sucker for romance, so I'm gonna pick this back up. Do you know what I mean? So again, like, I'm trying to like forget what happened so I can reread it and relive the emotions. I love this book. I love romance. Okay, so the next one was kind of a random pick because I was just like, I just saw it on the shelf and I was just like, there's a movie on this. I haven't watched the movie, but I was just like, let me read the book so I can watch the movie. Yeah. Okay, so let me stop waffling. But the next book that I picked is The Road by, what's his name? Cormac McCarthy. So The Road by Cormac McCarthy. A father and his young son walk alone through burned America, heading slowly for the coast. Why are they going to the coast? Why is America burning? These are important questions that I want to know. So I picked up. I think there's a movie on this. I'm so sure there's a movie on this, but I was like, let me pick this up. Apparently it's a classic, I think. So I was just like, why not? Why not? And it's quite small as well. It's only like 300 pages, so it should be a quick read. But yeah, I'm excited to get into this one just because I was like, that's interesting. A father and a son just walking and America's burning. Like, America is not here. Like, there's no one. Like, so next one is a classic. I feel like a lot of people, I want to say a lot of people have read it, but probably not. It's definitely a classic. So the next one I picked up is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. It's a book that I've always wanted to read because of the ideas and the themes behind the book. Yeah, it's a book that I've just always wanted to read and I'm interested in it, so I was just like, it's there, why not pick it up? So the next book that I picked up is Little Scratch by Rebecca Watson. Now this is quite an unusual read because I remember when this came out and I was thinking to myself, would I ever read this kind of book? There's some contemporary fiction that I don't enjoy. There's like the ones that are mainly based on like the main character, we're in their head and there is no plot to the story, but we are just following the character around and they're just kind of messing up their life through their actions. I love mess, but when there's no plot to the mess, I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm just like, I don't know. But then the concept of this book popped up and I was just like, this is quite interesting. I'm not sure if I'd like it, but I'm gonna give it a go. So this is kind of like a wild card book because I'm just like, it's a risk that I bought it, but it was on sale, so I was just like, why not? It's literally just about, it's literally getting into the mind of a woman who's just consumed by trauma. So we're literally following every thought that's going on in her head. That's why it's called Little Scratch. Do you know when you're just going about your daily business and then you've got something that's just itching you like on your finger and it's just annoying you? Like it just kind of builds up. It's kind of intense. Do you know what I mean? So I'm thinking this book might be quite intense. I'm not sure if there is a plot, so I might come back to review this, because it's definitely like a risk that I took buying this. I was kind of umming and ahhing about whether I should get it or not. So I was just like, do you know what? Let's just see what happens. And I got it. So yeah, I'm excited to actually review this one when I get to it. Okay, so the next few books that I bought are actually part of a series. I only bought the first 3, which is quite risky because I've never read the first one and I'm not really sure what the books are about. But a colleague was explaining the books to me and I was just like, oh, this sounds really interesting. Why not? So when we was there, me and my friend were just like, oh, like, should we pick up, is it worth picking up all the first 3 of the books, or should we just pick up one? And I was just like, do you not just pick up all 3, because what if it's so good that you want to read the next one immediately, but then your monthly budget doesn't allow it. Cough cough. So I was just like, let me buy all 3 just in case. So I've got the first 3. So I want to say it's the Scythe series by Neal Shusterman. So I've got Scythe, The Toll, let me hold it up properly, and Thunderhead. I can't remember what the correct order is. I know that Scythe is definitely the first one. Thunderhead is next, and then The Toll. Oh wait, my bad. The Thunderhead is next, and then The Toll. So yeah, I'm really excited to get into series again. So the back says, what if death was the only thing left to control? In a perfect world, the only way to die is to be gleaned by professional scythe. When Citra and Rowan are chosen to be apprentice scythes, they know they have no option but to learn the art of killing. However, the terrifying responsibility of choosing their victims is just the start. Corruption is the order of the day, and Citra and Rowan need to stick together to fight it. Then they are told that one of them will have to glean the other. So, memoirs of a geisha. This is definitely a movie, but I definitely wanted to read it. It's a book that I've always wanted to read. It was written originally in Japanese, but it's translated. And yeah, like, it's just something I've always wanted to read. Again, I'm not really sure what it's about. Memoirs of a geisha, I don't know, but but it's just something I've always wanted to get into. But yeah, Memoirs of a Geisha. At the warehouse there were so many books. I'm sure there's books that I even missed that I really wanted to get, but it's hard, like when you got like shelves that are like huge. They literally were taller than me, and I'm 5'5", so like they must have been like 6 foot. No, 6 foot is not that tall. Maybe like 2 meters, maybe like 6'5", 7 foot, I don't know. But they were really tall. and it was just literally filled with books. So like there was books on the floor up to the top of the shelf, so like you're literally scanning through like thousands of books whilst you're walking through. So I was actually shocked to see this one here, and this one is The Sellout by Paul Beatty, and it's kind of like one of those satirical books. It's literally about a man who believes that his dad's work would lead him to getting some money, but it doesn't. So he gets really annoyed about it. I'm simplifying it here. He gets really annoyed about it, and he wants to bring back. He wants to bring back segregation and slavery, which leads him to the Supreme Court. So a lot of people think this book is funny and all of that stuff. Obviously what I just said doesn't sound funny. So I'm interested to see how the author actually like makes it humorous, and obviously it sounds so crazy, it's kind of funny, but it's kind of scary at the same time. So I'm interested in reading this. There's mixed reviews on this book, so I definitely want to get into this one. You can learn a lot from like fiction books, but I also wanted to pick up books that actually like challenge me mentally as well. So I kind of picked up these little guides. There were so many there that I wanted to pick up. I literally had to drop some at the till because I was trying to be good with my budget, but I went for these ones instead. So there's little pocket guides. So Capitalism, a graphic guide. I picked up Consciousness, a graphic guide. And I picked up Feminism, a graphic guide. So these guides, very small. You guys know that I like graphic novels, so I was just like, let me pick up topics I've been interested in reading into, but pictures will help me get it because sometimes I'm kind of slow. So I was just like, let me get something that's easy to read, quick to read. They're quite small, they're not that big, like they're very, very small. They're very, very small, so it's a quick read and like you learn a lot through them. So I wanted to just pick these up my god, I'm tired. I wanted to pick these up so that I can just like get an initial introduction to these topics. So like capitalism, which obviously is messing up our world now, consciousness, like come on, and feminism. I am aware of like some of the pros and cons of getting some of these guides, but it's just for me to get a brief introduction into it because I'm just like, there's so much information out there. Where can I read concise and easy to understand information on complex issues? So I just picked these up. So we'll see how these go. I'm hoping to like maybe build up a collection because there was more that I wanted to get. There was like 6 in total. I had to like drop 3 or maybe 4 because I think I was going to pick up 7, but I was just like, let's see how these will go first. That's it, man. That is it. Let me know in the comments which one you would love for me to read next and actually do a review on. Let me know if you've also read some of these books as well. It'll be good to get like a discussion going on that. And yeah, man, like I picked up a range of books, so I'm actually really excited because it means I get to explore a lot more rather than just sticking to like one genre that I really enjoy. I just wanted to pick up different stuff, which I did. So I was really happy with what I got. So I spent £50 and all of those books were worth £160 or £150 in total. So it was a good deal. I'm going to post their link in their bio, so if you want to check it out, go. I think it's definitely worth it. I probably will make another visit next year. Probably not at the beginning, but at some point. If I've got some spare cash, I'll definitely go back and revisit. There were so many books that I wanted to pick up. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.